On the 16th of September, we mentioned how a Metropolitan police constable was to stand trial for causing the death of 34-year-old Rozanne Cooper and her nephew, 10-year-old Makayah McDermott. Rozanne and Makayah were mown down during a police chase in which PC Edward Welch was involved as they walked along a pavement in Chatham in Kent in 2016. Along with the deaths, a second child was also seriously injured in the crash. Welch's trial has now started this week, and yesterday the Old Bailey heard how PC Welch, who was the driver of a marked police BMW vehicle that was pursuing a stolen car, is accused of engaging in an inappropriate chase and of continuing the pursuit when this posed a clear risk to other users and pedestrians. Prosecution for the CPS, Duncan Atkinson, told the court that the officer's driving fell well below acceptable standards by reaching excessive speeds during the 6-minute chase, including when crossing junctions and roundabouts and travelling the wrong side up one-way roads and through no entry signs, which created and perpetuated a high level of very serious risk for a prolonged period. Welch was in a pursuit of Joshua Dobby, who had stolen a vehicle 6 days earlier. He eventually lost control of his vehicle and crashed and crushed the 3 victims. Dobby was subsequently convicted of 2 counts of manslaughter by gross negligence and 1 count of causing serious injury by dangerous driving. But prosecutor Duncan Atkinson said that this case wasn't about Dobby, but rather about the actions of the vehicle in pursuit, which is what allegedly caused Dobby to start driving in a manner which was obviously and significantly dangerous. Mr. Atkinson said that he and his passenger, PC Jack Kia, identified the vehicle as stolen and have activated their blue lights and siren. At this point, the vehicle accelerated away from them. From that moment on, it is clear the Ford Focus was trying to get away from rather than to stop for the police car, and that whilst the police car continued to chase the stolen car, it would drive in a dangerous manner in a determined effort to escape. Welch and his passenger were in contact with the Metropolitan Police control room throughout the chase, which was told that the risk posed by the chase was low. The Old Bailey was told, however, any sensible analysis, the risk posed by the pursuit, taking account of the driving of both vehicles, was at a higher level of risk. The prosecution case here is that Welch engaged in a chase where to do so was inappropriate and, more importantly, persisted in that chase when it should have been clear that this was disproportionate and posed a clear risk to other road users and pedestrians. This was not a police officer heading to an emergency, let alone an emergency involving a risk to life. Rather, all he wanted to do was to speak to the driver. It was mentioned in the court that other officers had come across the vehicle in the days prior but had chosen to disengage from the chase due to the manner of the suspect's driving. The trial is set to last 2 weeks into the charges of 2 counts of causing death by dangerous driving and 1 count of causing serious injury by dangerous driving and an alternative charge of dangerous driving, all of which PC Edward Welch denies. Now, this is a problem that we see all too often with the police. They are all too keen to hit those blues and twos to get to any incident whatsoever, and they speed in order to get there. Now, again, just like using weapons, they are for use in life or death situations. Lights and sirens are for use in emergency situations. Not because a cop has pulled somebody over and just wants somebody else there, because somebody's taking some photographs and are being a little bit, shall we say, obstructive. It doesn't require police to attend on an emergency protocol. Blues and twos are not for that situation. But again, we see all too often how police abuse the fact that they've got blues and twos to go and get their donuts and coffee, to get back to the yard quickly so they can get home, or simply because they're bored and they want a bit of an adrenaline rush. See, this is what happens when you drive like absolute cunt.